Pogie hands him the stars 4 frames at a time, or 4 stars at a time every 8 frames.
Turn this back on, make sure it's loading. It's good. Future Rush says, I'm mildly concerned about Shadow. He stopped Tears to focus on Zelda 2. Then he stopped Zelda 2 to focus on Pogie.
Oh, Pogie. Have you ever done that, Wavern? I've never grabbed that mask on the 3rd jump like that. I did not know you could glitch through that block. Yes, yes, it's possible. Oh, I should be quieter. It's midnight.
I just clipped through the floor, and everybody saw it. Did you see that shit? Somebody clipped.
I missed it! Button! You can't just spawn me on top of an enemy!
Whoa, I definitely clipped through there, and there's absolutely no use. Oh my god, it's so cursed! Oh. It's a girl Pogie! I've never seen this before! And
No, I never actually thought about that before.
Alright, we should be live.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Everyone. Welcome in, board boosters. Hope you're all doing well on this fine evening.
I can't believe you've all done this.
Yeah, this is your fault. You supported this trash. Now look. Yeah, hope you're all doing well.
I guess we should do some introductions really quick in case anybody doesn't know who each one of us are. I'll go first. I'm Zero Counts, Pogie lover extraordinaire. I'll pass it over to this guy up here in the top left.
Me, I think.
Yes.
I see your arm going up.
Yeah. Very
I was like, his left, my left. I'm Bug Doctor. I am not Pogie lover extraordinaire. I think Pogie is incredibly cursed and should be burned at the stake. But this has been a fun little month. Well, I guess the month was a little while ago now, but it was a fun little month of playing this game. And yeah, thank you all for joining us. And now this person. Nope, wrong way. I did it.
Zero's hand also pointed at me on my own screen, and then I you'd be like, "Oh, he's finding a bug." Hi everybody, I'm Zarek. I have the distinction of being the person who actually suggested that we play Dreamworld Pogie, I think is how it's properly pronounced. Yeah, happy to be one of your admins here for Board Boosters.
Yeah, we're your bosses. If you do anything out of line, then you're getting a spanking, public spanking.
So,
like
signups for public spankings,
like this right here, just like this.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if Dark is going to be able to have any of his comments up for longer than 60 seconds.
Yeah, Dark's toast, as long as I'm in control.
Shall we get to it?
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Oh, it sounds like your mic is cutting up just a little bit. There's Eric.
Okay, my bad here. I will try to speak a bit closer to it. We can get real intimate with it.
Oh boy, there it is. There it is.
ASMR.
What the heck was that? Oh.
Let me know if that's not better.
Yeah,
though.
allow that, please. Yes, thank you. All right. Yeah. So
5 minutes.
let's go ahead and get started. I think we wanted to start off with talking about what Board Boosters was or is, and what how the idea sort of came to be. I think that sort of started with Bug and Xeric. So I mean, I'll kind of pass it over to them where this came from and how it started.
I think Bug should start us off for sure.
Yeah, so 10 years ago, I had a dream. I dreamt that in the future, every speedboard would have a vast landscape of participants. And now I'm making that dream a reality. No, not actually. A couple months ago, I was like, it'd be kind of cool to just have a bunch of people who go after these various boards that are underrepresented, because there's so many cool games out there. I think it happened like right after GDQ, and there's a few like cool games, but they get swept under the fucking rug. They're at these odd times, no one watched them, and it'd be like, oh, it'd be cool to like make a group that highlights games like that don't get enough fucking love. And I didn't really expect the first game to be one that doesn't deserve any extra love, but that's exactly what happened. So yeah, and then I kind of like let it slide, but then Xeric luckily kept. I pointed the wrong thing. He kept kind of badgering me about it every so often. He'd be like,
I hounded him about that.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Yo, when you starting it?" He's like, "Oh, I've reached out to a few people." He's like, what's going on?" So then I was like, "Okay, I gotta get this guy shut up." So we started the Discord, and now here we are. Now we got like 40 people in it, something like that. So anyway, that's how it began, basically.
And we should say here, like, thank you all to the people who joined early when it was like 5 people in the Discord who were like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll do that, right? Like we were hoping, like in our early discussions before we figured out put anything together, we're like, what does success look like in the first boost? And it was like, if we can get 5 people to put their time up on a board, like that would be a little thing that we're doing. And it just went way beyond that during the course of it all. It was very, very cool.
Yeah, I didn't expect there to be 25 plus entrants on our first boost. I thought it'd be a fraction of that for sure.
It's
so
wild.
Yeah, so thank you all so much for participating in our first game, and hopefully that continues, and hopefully the community continues to grow, and we can boost the shit out of some more games that deserve some love.
Yes, please.
Or maybe some that don't deserve love and just start getting extra attention for whatever reason. But yeah.
I guess where did Pogie come from? Because I know Xeric, it was your suggestion, but how did you discover Pogie and what?
He came from the combined anuses of the Oliver twins.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways to answer that question. Sorry, like where did Pogie come from as far as a suggestion from me for a game that we would play? I think as far as that goes, I keep a list, like many runners do, of games that you might want to play at some time. And very often what I'll do when I have like 5 minutes, on a work break or something like that, is I'll sit down, I'll boot up some NES ROMs, and I'll play, 2-3 minutes of a game and see like, what is this like? Is it hard garbage? Is it actually playable? That kind of thing. That's how I stumbled across like Solar Jetman, which is an NES game that I'm very, very fond of. Like I've gotten very deep into. Just
also
pulling
hot
it
garbage.
up, giving it a shot, trying to say that's blasphemous. And one of the ways that I find games that aren't in this just giant list of ROMs I have is I'll go to speedrun.com and I'll click on like what games have no runs, right? How could I get a quick world record on a 0-run game, right? How could I be like the person who knows about this game when no one else does? And it happened to be one day, Dreamworld Pogie just there, and I was like, okay, well, that doesn't look like a terrible ROM hack that was just thrown together that someone managed to get a board put up for. Like, it actually looks like a proper game. And I clicked through on it. I was like, okay, I'll put it on the list and see it for later. I never played it before I put it on the list of suggestions for board boosters. I wish I had probably played it a little bit more. But that is where the suggestion came from.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's funny, like, so like I think the history of like the game too is kind of odd as well. Like it was supposed to come out on the NES back in like the early 90s, like kind of a late NES game, where it was supposed to come out on like the Aladdin deck enhancer system or whatever, if you're familiar with that. And then I guess there just wasn't a whole lot of support, for the Aladdin deck enhancer, because it was honestly, it was a piece of garbage. It's just proprietary piece of equipment. And then like it got just put away for a long time, and then I guess the developers just were like, hey, let's do a Kickstarter for this game that we made 20-30 years ago, and just see if people want to have it released. And they made enough money to release this beautiful game that we all decided to speedrun.
Yep. They sure did.
Yeah. And that was it was like 5-6 years ago when they released it.
Yeah, I think it's 2016, I think. Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, for anybody who's in here who hasn't seen Pogie, I don't know why you're here, but we're happy to have you.
I feel like everyone that I see in chat has seen Pogie, and they're for some reason not frightened.
Yeah, it's just a very basic platformer, and we're gonna watch a run of it pretty soon here. It's just a basic platformer. Really, all you can do is jump. You move and jump. That's the only the objective. You can collect stars if you want, but you just go to the exit, and that's it. Like, but 15 levels, and that's it. And it's a really quick speed run. We were able to get it under under 10 minutes. It was the world record now sits at a 6:15, something like that.
Yep. Yeah, something like that. It was 13 something originally, and then so it's knocked it down to less than 50% of what it was.
Yeah, there was one person on the board before.
Yeah.
And now there are.
And God bless him too.
Yes.
Yeah. Joshua approved all of our shit in the span of a day.
Yeah. Shout outs to Joshua. Yep, absolutely.
He's fucking ready for it. I'm glad that we finally got hold of him to, get that through. But yeah. Yes.
I will say, and let me know if my mic is not clear, folks. I did try to make some adjustments here to make it a bit clearer. I did message Joshua 8600 the day we picked Dreamworld Pogie and said, hey, this is happening.
We're coming for you.
He did not get back to me.
We're coming to get you, Josh.
He did not get back to me at all month. And then the day before the week before, he responded to somebody and was like, yeah, I got you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so I mean, wild.
Church is coming.
Absolute wild turnout on this game. There was a point during the beginning where we hit that 7-minute mark, just under 7 minutes, and I was like, well, that's it, we're done, right? We've pushed it as far as it can go, and then people wild just kept running this and kept pushing it
hours.
And then we hit 6:30, and I'm like, well, that's got to be it, right? And then we found more things, and I honestly don't know where all the time is. I think my final run, I think that I submitted was 6:38 or 6:39 or something, and my sum of best is only maybe a few seconds faster than that. I don't know where these people are getting all this time from, but it's absolutely insane how far it's been pushed down.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so kudos to you all. Good stuff. It's awesome to see it constantly being optimized and pushed down. Really cool.
So it's important to note that during the month of June, during the actual board boosters month in June, it was Agent Wyvern that was able to secure the world record. But then even shortly after that, in July, Epic Neon Ninja Monkey pushed it even farther, and now currently has the world record at a 6:15. And I just kind of want, I thought we would just watch through that world record run on the stream so everybody can kind of see the game and see what it got pushed down to, and we'll kind of commentate over it. So let me get that shared here, and then I'll pop it up on the screen.
Yep. Yeah, for a good while it was going back and forth between Monkey and Wyvern. Like just like literally like I think you'd get like it swapping like a couple times a day. So it was pretty hot contest there for a bit.
All right.
Are we on like a,
what's up?
We're on like a the stream is like a Inception stuff.
Yeah, that crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we'll switch over. Let's watch this run here.
Okay. I can't believe I'm looking at this game again.
One of the things that I think is interesting about this first part here is that the first time I played it, I jumped up here and got the mask because like, oh, you'll go faster, and then we stopped doing that, and now at the end they go back to it again, like they're taking the mask at the beginning.
Yeah, I tried that for a little bit later on. I was just like, there's no way it's worth it, but I guess it is. Yeah, these flower or popcorn launchers are definitely
there it
potential
is.
Run killers.
Those dang clown boxes, all that lag that's produced from that clown box, crazy.
Yeah, and like there's definitely like some lag reduction meta when it comes to avoiding those fucking things. And even stars, honestly, if you get too many stars, they cause like enough effects to screw things up.
Yeah, like right there, you can see there was some slowdown just from collecting stars.
Yeah.
Well, also a clip into the ground as well, yeah.
And every time you collect a star, it makes that big burst, right? Like, and it
exactly.
So much on screen.
Those spring dudes were a cause of frustration for nearly everyone, I believe.
Well, it's also like the springs, and you're not going to see this obviously in this run, but you would die right as you got the egg, and then just you died because like it was game over because there was a perpetual death loop every time you respawned with the spring on the egg, right?
Yeah,
I think we all went through that at least once.
Yeah. We were able to capture a clip for that in the pre-show there. A couple of them, I think.
Like our group like created the speedrun for this. Like, I mean, Joshua had put up a time. It was, pretty casual as went through, but there were so many things about this game that we learned at the beginning of the month that looking back seem ancient now. Like the fact that you can run through the enemies. The first few times I was jumping over the little cannon dudes.
Yeah.
Not running through them, right? Like.
Yep. The base guy brings up a good point where this game wouldn't have been shit on so much if it weren't for input eating. And it's true. I think this game it's fairly competent, but the input eating and some of just the shit that happens when you're caught on ledges, that's literally, if those were just refined and this played like just that little bit smoother, it would be a lot better.
Absolutely.
To be clear, I don't think this is a bad game. It's not a good game.
Right.
But it's just like, a good old solid 5 out of 10, like right down the center.
Yeah.
But yeah, this
is the worst level.
It's annoying, yeah. And there's definitely some meta with avoiding jumping on as many mushrooms as possible.
Yeah,
I will say that,
go ahead.
Just if I can, the one of the things that does redeem Pogie a little bit is that the music is not the worst on the system. Like there's a lot worse music on the
music's pretty good. Yeah. No, we don't hear each track for very long, but
the music that has been playing in the background during the stream is from Pogie because it's not bad.
Yeah. No, a lot of stuff from Codemasters. A lot of their music is actually like pretty darn catchy and good. So I got no complaints there.
So speaking of Codemasters, like we did get, they did like retweet us here when Twitter still existed.
Yeah, the twins. Yep, they did. Which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, the Oliver twins are aware.
Yeah, they're watching. Wonder if they're in chat right now.
They followed Board Boosters. And you
on this?
Yeah, no, they followed on Twitter.
Oh, okay. You got me excited. This stage is a pain too, but it looks like people are starting to find like cycle skips, which is pretty sweet. And like ways to kind of manipulate stuff almost.
Oh, wave to Pogie. Oh no, he's jumping. He doesn't want to wave to Pogie.
Do not wave.
Is Pogie doing like a weird color thing here? Like,
yeah. These like I think it's the signal.
Yeah, something like with Epic's capture. The red.
Yeah, it looks cool, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it. This level's pretty like it's scary at first when you don't know like a proper like route of where to jump. And even then, I find it scary because for some reason, right near this like
right here.
What's it called? A Fizzola, this thing coming up. Sometimes I don't know, you just don't get inertia or something like that, and you just like get scared and like fall down a pit or something. It's very weird. This is the no level. Lolo can talk about that level later, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
This one's pretty straightforward too, but I find that you can beat that fucking ball. I didn't know that.
I always wanted to find a way up top at the beginning of this.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I could never find it.
Yeah, there are definitely some stages in this that just look impressive when they're run. Like, just like how many jumps and like the precision of some of the jumps.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
for
throwing the eaten inputs on top of it, like.
Yeah. It's fairly straight, and then you got these levels that are just like you just run through it.
Well, it does seem like the back half of most levels is just running.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Unless you like want to go collect stars, but
no, we're already on the last level here.
Who would want to collect stars?
I know.
Hello?
Some crazy person.
Like this stage just looks so cool. Once it's like,
it does. It's just nice to have a route that barely deals with the green fucking Galaga monsters.
Hashtag I beat Pogie. There we go.
Hashtag I beat Pogie. 615. Is that actually a 615 or could it be a 614? Or do you actually? Oh, monkey frame counter, right? So yeah.
Well, we probably have the. It's a 615 on the board.
Okay, cool. Yeah, pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Quick, fast run. Like we literally just started the video and now it's over. So yeah, GG's to Epic Neon Ninja Monkey. Right? I said that the right way. It's Epic Ninja Neon. Okay. I always mess up the two middle N words there. Yeah, no, really cool. And yeah, like I said, it was really impressive to see the record constantly getting pushed by Monkey and Wyvern. So that was awesome.
So I think now.
Do we want to invite our friends in? Or?
So we've talked enough here. We've talked enough about Pogie. Let's bring in some folks who actually participated. Some of the people who participated in the events and see if they have some more insight for us.
Yeah. Bring in
Lolo Guru and Junkyard Dave. You wanna come on in?
Just while we're bringing people in here, I came up with a little bit of a description of what Pogie is for people who might not be familiar.
Let's ask you.
You were supposed to ask me this. You know what?
I know. I fucked up. Sorry.
I'm gonna forgive you. So, if you had to describe what Pogie was like as a creature, right? The physical organism of Pogie, right? Not just the game. I recently learned of something, and it made me immediately think of Pogie. So, in the world of gene therapy, right, dealing with stem cell research and development of those sorts of like sciences, there's obviously a lot of philosophical questions and ethical questions about that type of research, and people can be very sensitive. The law is different in different places, but one of the things they do to qualm ethical concerns about the development of stem cells is that when they develop an embryo from which they take stem cells, in many jurisdictions, what they will do is they will take a human sperm cell and a hamster egg cell and impregnate it. They never allow it to divide, and it's called a humster. There's a Wikipedia page, you can look it up.
Humster.
Like a human hamster hybrid. It's a real thing in stem cell research. Now, if you were to allow it to divide, it wouldn't create a creature. But if it did, that would be Pogie.
It would be a Pogie.
Yeah.
Well, we're having a little technical. Oh, there we go.
There we go. I didn't realize I had to like add a permission. That's weird. I thought it would just. This is all new shit to me, so I'd like. You're gonna have to. Oh, okay, good. I thought that was you talking, but it was me echoing. So, yeah, welcome in, Lolo and Junkyard Dave.
Hey guys, tell me if you can hear yourselves, because we have a setup that's possible that you can hear yourselves. Otherwise, we're good.
I could a little bit, but it's okay.
I think I can hear us in Lolo through Lolo's thing.
I'm getting a feedback loop, I think.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Okay. I blame Dave.
Yeah, it's probably Dave's fault.
All right, one sec.
Okay, I think I can. I'll just mute the stream proper and just hear you guys through the.
Sure.
Okay, that should be better.
General.
All right.
If you two would go ahead and introduce yourselves to start.
Yeah, Dave, you want
No problem.
Go first?
Sure, homies.
Shut up. Don't say that word.
Yeah, no, my name is Dave. I made an unfortunate error to task this game, and then they invited me here to talk about the task.
Yep.
I mean, to be fair, your task is really cool, Dave. Really is. Hi, I'm Lolo Guru, and I am the crazy person who decided to gather all the stars in Pogie the fastest.
And good on you. Literally created a new category, which is pretty sweet. And then also a couple other people ended up running it too, right? So that's awesome.
So
yeah,
do we
so
wanna start with the 100% discussion and kind of
Yeah,
I guess
I've probably got a few things to say about 100% in general. Stage 1, I mean, you've seen the any percent. You've seen how fast you basically just skip the entire everything. Whereas that stage is full of those bubble machines that are all on cycles. As soon as you scroll them onto the screen the first time, it's literally, it's very hard to actually make a proper route that actually stays together, simply because of just how variant. Also, there's this. Okay, so there's that. There's basically the stage like has. I mean, it's a stage with like 4 Fizzolas or something. It's you'd expect you get to go fast, but no, not really. Pretty much. You gotta wait. You got cycles of bubbles that you gotta wait at the very beginning. Right after the door, you've got basically your second Fizzola there. You've got the bubble things that take you up, and there are these big lines of stars that you basically, optimally, you want to jump through them all, like literally from bubble to bubble, and but. There's this one star. There's one star that's on the other side of where the first bubble spawner starts. It just makes it impossible to do in one cycle, and it's like really frustrating. And really the stage is just full of the bubble shooters like this. There's this second door that basically no one who's ever played this game has ever used, because why would you want to? If you've already skipped the first one, you're not going to want to go take the second door, but they put stars next to it, so you have to jump off the bubbles onto to the side of each door, and it's like, and then at the very end, you've got a whole bunch of bubble machines. Once again, stars up top, but then cloud lag boxes above them. So you want to hit the stars, not hit the lag boxes, because if you hit 2-3 lag boxes. Good luck having Pogie eat any, let you jump at all. I mean, even if you're just mash and mash and mash, it won't let you jump.
Yeah, I mean, you
But you want to do that section really fast because there's a fire right at the end that you want to still have a Fizzola there in case. Yeah, it's anyway. I mean, to be fair, it's just a really interesting stage.
Yeah.
And for the most part, the game is it does pretty interesting stuff in the stages that you guys get to skip at any percent.
Right. Yeah.
Like frustrating stuff. I mean, admittedly, frustrating stuff, but interesting.
So, a quick question for you.
What?
Since you went through like all the stages and stuff, those bubble machines, do they ever appear in any other stage when you go through the whole thing, or are they a stage 1 exclusive?
I'm pretty sure that they are a stage 1 exclusive. It's like
you bring
it's like
up
the Ninja Gaiden bats at the end.
That, I mean, that's a good point that they brought something that just. I mean, the other stage that has a door super early that you skip the whole thing.
Yeah.
That stage specifically has those green. It has the green platforms you land on. I mean, they're kind of like the candies, but they're different. They just look different.
Yeah, they're like the little elevators, except they move like side to side in those stages.
And that stage is just full of them. You kind of got to jump. You kind of got to jump up and down them to get stars because they made a pyramid of them near the end, and you have some hard jumps, but these do seem to have a snap to it sort of thing if you're underneath. So it's not as bad as it could be.
And something interesting about those.
I praise the Pogie. That is also the stage with the glitch star. If anyone is ever considering running 100%, they do need to know in advance. This stage has 2 stars on the same column. If you collect one, you basically collected them both. Your star count will say 1 star remaining at the end. Just run with it. It's perfectly fine. You haven't broken the game more than it already is. You'll get this extra star back in the last stage because there's 1 extra.
Oh.
So
I knew about the glitch one. I didn't know about the extra one. Go ahead, Zero.
So the part about like the thing that fascinates me most about like trying to run 100% is that like there's like you're talking about all these different like platforms that move around, right? Like and it's so hard to like time which ones that you want to ride and which ones like which ones you want to ride multiple times, because like you have to try to gather as many stars as you can on a single jump, and if you miss any of them, then that adds a whole nother cycle of an elevator to ride or a platform to ride back on.
Yep.
And then I think it's stage 13 or 12 or whichever one it is that has the moving back and forth platforms. Those platforms can actually despawn if you like go too far, like I've found. Or like if you could try to go back, or if you die and then like it takes you back, sometimes those platforms don't come back, and then it's like
just vanish?
They just don't come back.
That sounds like the sort of thing that would frustrate me to no end if it ever happened to me. Thankfully, it hasn't.
That's good.
Good.
But,
I think we should. I think we might want to move on to a bit of a discussion about the tasks.
Yeah, Dave. Tell us about the tasks a little bit.
It took 4 hours to do, and it was the most painful 4 hours of my entire life.
So why did you do it?
Well, it's funny because actually Spriven in chat was the first person that tasked it, but I don't think it was completely optimal. And then after he tasked it, I don't know, Spriven, if you can tell what your original task was. I can't remember. But we tasked it again afterwards just to see, because there was new strats that were found. And even after the task was made, there was still stuff because like Epic's clip wasn't in that task originally. So it was just more so kind of like, I don't actually like tasking stuff at all. I actually hate it. But at the same time, it was really cool to be part of this experience because realistically, it was kind of really nice in the sense that, oh, sorry, 1 second here. It was kind of nice in the sense that, okay. everybody was kind of running it, and at the same time there was like a lot of community strats that were going into everything, and that was really cool. So I wanted to kind of put everything together for everyone and then see what could possibly be.
Spriven says in chat it was a 620.
Yeah. So then this task, in theory, it was technically a 608, but I ironically made a very stupid mistake in level 2 where I bumped a ledge or something, so I lost like a second or more, and I didn't notice it until it was done. So it was probably good until like 606, maybe 605.
I wonder if you get a 559. I wonder if you get a sub 6.
I think someone needs to find something. Like that's probably the next kind of minute break is asking a lot with the current strats. Even if everybody nailed everything, like I don't know if it can go that low, but
some kind of like wall clip, some kind of useful wall clip, or like Zarek said,
some sort of clip.
Yeah, like Zarek said, getting on top of that one. If you just got on top of that one giant thing that in stage 13 or whatever the heck it is, that's that would do it. But yeah, because there are times where you clip in the wall, and I think you can jump out of them. So I feel like if you could find a way to abuse that properly, then. But it seems to require the speed of the Fizzola, from what I see or from what I've seen, or just weird geometry, which you don't really encounter much.
I did actually have some times I clipped in stage 2 between the there were the little the little boxes with stars in them. I did clip from the big box to the little box once that actually saved time. But I think that's pretty much entirely unrepeatable. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it definitely happens a lot there in that area because it's just janky. Part of that is probably attributed to the Yoku blocks appearing and pushing around.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just the Pogie sprite in general, it's just, I mean, you're
ugly.
You're stuffing him into gaps smaller than Pogie is himself.
Yeah. Cool.
Probably serves him right.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you think with any task improvements, what do you think about that, Dave? Do you think like that little tiny amount that you screwed? You said it'd be like a second you could gain.
Probably about a second, yeah.
Yeah. So looking at like a 607-ish.
And that's wild because the world record right now is at a 615.
It's so close.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Like a lot of it. See, the one thing that nobody tasked properly that might save a little bit of time is lag reduction. And then on top of that too, like Agent started kind of doing that because in level 2 you could skip that clown box, and I think he saved like 0.2 or something like that. And Enzo Zero was trying it as well. Yeah. So if you could figure out lag reduction perfectly in all the stages, and if you could also collect a very minimal amounts of stars, like the counter went down. So I think when I tasked, it was originally you could skip if it was like under 8 stars or something. You could like basically skip like the countdown screen completely.
Yeah.
So if you could basically somehow, which I think is impossible in any percent, collect less than 8 stars in every level and skip every single countdown screen, and then do the things that were found really late, like Epic's clip. And Kaningas, who has like a 620 and a really good time, figured out a way in the weird stage. I forget which one it was, but it was like the one that, ironically, one of the times that Kat and I were watching, Bug kept dying on because it's like we have to jump over like those gaps, and there's like that like giant, I can't remember, it's like level 9 or something, at like level 10.
Right.
But there's a second mask there, and Kuning figured out how to grab the mask without stopping at all. So there's like little things like that, but I think still, even with all that stuff.
Yeah, I think
is that the one with the conveyor belt one?
No, not the conveyor belt. It's like
the one with the
you jump across.
Like
no, not the pyramid one either.
Okay.
Oh, that's like
it's like the one like right at the very beginning. Like you walk whatever, you grab the first mask and you jump up. There's like a little elevator, and then you run, and there's like giant gaps. There's just like huge gaps.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, the candy apple one.
Yeah, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So we saw a Bug kind of crash and burn there for quite a few attempts.
Yeah, let's keep talking about it. Let's keep throwing Bug under the bus. Typical.
That was our first real exposure to Pogie, was Bug not liking that stage.
And you're like, boy, I really want to get better at that so I can rub it in Bug's face.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was all coordinated right from the start.
Yeah, calculated.
Mm.
Cool.
We want to run our video that we have now.
Yeah, so there was somebody else we wanted to invite, but unfortunately they couldn't make it. But they did submit a video, so I think we'll cut over to that.
We're gonna
say
sounds good.
We did say thanks, Dave and Lolo. We're gonna boot you out now unceremoniously. But yeah, thanks for hopping in and talking with us about it, and
thanks for running the game.
Like I said, yeah, thanks for the task and getting that task made, and also like I said, Lolo, good job tolerating it enough to do 100% and route that out and stuff. So good on you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Later.
Yep, later.
All right, let's pop this up here. We have somebody who wants to say hi.
We should also say that we did invite Epic
Neon Ninja Monkey.
Neon Ninja Monkey. I was going to say Ninja Monkey.
Yeah.
That for both these folks, it didn't work for their time, so we did throw out an invite.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, I'm Wyvern, and I would love to be there for the Pogie appreciation event, but unfortunately I'm getting my much required beauty sleep. But I have been asked to answer some questions for you all in glorious Technicolor. So, Pogie's a charming enough little platform game, isn't it? It's nice in its own little ways, nice music, just jumping about, collecting stars, getting to the end of the level. It's not overly interesting, but it's a relatively unoffensive little game. From a casual perspective anyway. From the speedrunning's perspective, I almost quite like the simplicity of it. Like, I like the fact that it's just, hey, just jump and that's it. Like, there's no worrying about weapons and timings, and it's relatively straightforward. And I kind of like that in a way, just the sort of straightforward platformer. What holds the speedrunning experience back though is the eaten inputs. Woo! There was a lot of them, as I'm sure you all know, and it definitely makes it a bit of a sort of hard grind on the soul, shall we say. I didn't run it that much, did I? Mainly, I think I did it because the run was fairly straightforward, and it's easy just to throw a lot of attempts at it. There's nothing in the run individually that's overly difficult, even if trying to get a complete sort of run all the way through with very minimal mistakes did prove a little bit of a challenge in the end. But also the community has been brilliant. The whole board boosters community that's sort of grown up from Pogie has been like excellent. Just lots of awesome people that I've never got to interact with. So you're all amazing. You're all amazing. You are. You are. Well, if someone's looking for a relatively straightforward, easy to pick up run that's, short and not overly difficult to at least get through, then they could do far worse than Pogie. It's not maybe a run that's going to hold most people's attentions for too long, though. It does have a lack of, like, maybe interesting tech. There's not too much to it, which I think works well for, like, the board boosters, because, it's a quick run that, people can throw varying amounts of time into, but still everyone can, get a decent run up fairly quickly. But yeah, it's not going to be for everyone. I mean, it's an acquired taste, I think is the way of putting it. Like, over here in the UK, we have Marmite, right? And their slogan is, you either love it or you hate it. The Australians, they have Vegemite, and the whole world has Pogie. It will eat your inputs. It will eat your soul. It will then regurgitate that into a nice ball of inputs and souls, and then that will then be used to make perfume. Well, I've made some questionable speedrunning decisions in the past. Imagine being happy. Ah! But I think the experience I've had with some of those questionable speedruns has probably helped me not get too annoyed with the input eating in Pogie. I mean, okay, I did get annoyed, but I feel like I've speedrun far worse than that. So in a way, it almost allowed me to enjoy the experience a little more without getting overly upset with it. So I would say it helped in that regard, I guess. But again, Pogie being such a relatively straightforward run to pick up, I think the experience with previous speedruns probably doesn't really become that impactful for a game like this. So that's all from me. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the evening at the Pogie Appreciation Party. And thank you everyone for being such an amazing community. It's been lovely meeting many of you for the first time during this event, and you're all amazing. Oh, you're also picking the next game tonight, aren't you? You're not going to pick Dragon's Lair, are you? Because if you do, I will make you stare at the disapproving frown of Ricky the Rain Frog. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Don't.
All right. All right.
It's not worth
it. That was very entertaining.
Yes. Thank you very much, Wyvern, for submitting that video and your thoughts on the run and your experiences. It was very entertaining.
There's much more work put in that video than I expected. That was good stuff. Liked it. Bar is set very high.
Yes.
Future guests.
So I think that brings us to our the last part of our event tonight, and that is picking the next run. So the next run is go ahead.
Before we do it, any hopes and dreams? Anything you're dreading, folks?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Post in the chat here. What is it?
What do you want? What do you not want?
What do you want to see chosen? So there is a command, exclamation point game list, which will give you a link to the Google Doc that has the full list of games that will be suggested. There's some color coding in there, so you know what everything means. But yeah, let us know in chat what you want to hear or what you want to see. Zarek, do you have any that you want to see chosen?
Well, I definitely have one that I don't want to be seen.
Oh yeah, what's that?
No, there's definitely ones I want more than others. We've had a lot of discussion about Homie de Clown. I don't know if it's actually the worst on the list.
Too much.
Some terrible options here on our list. But there are a few that I would. I don't know if I would want them more than others, but I definitely had to look into them. I know the Bug suggested Corridor 7, which actually looks super cool to play.
Something I'd be interested about that is that there's no runs for it. So like
there's nothing.
We'd have to basically be creating the run on our own.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny when we were discussing doing this originally, part of it is like part of why we're doing this is to show love not just to a game that was ignored, but like a community that just never could get people like to play their game, right? Like we all have games from our childhood where we just never found anyone else who played it, and we wanted someone else to like it like we did. And Board Boosters offers a unique opportunity for us to like be like, you know what, we're gonna come down from the clouds and be like, we're gonna enjoy your game with you. Mm-hmm. And so it's cool that we would be the community for it now, but we'd lose that element of it a little bit, which is too bad. But overall, I mean, like any game that gets picked, I'll play it. Like I take the sort of like, as a responsibility of as a mod or admin or whatever you want to call it. Like I am committed to making it successful, even if God forbid someone did actually pick like Dragon's Lair or something terrible like that.
Bug, you have any that you want to see chosen from this list?
I mean, I'm kind of biased, but Corridor 7. I think it would be like a cool little arcadey first-person shooter to route out. Yeah, it's just this neat little game that I remember from my childhood that I've never played in its entirety. I only played the demo because it came on one of those fucking CDs that just had a million games on it, right? But I was surprised that there's nothing. There's another FPS, like a old school FPS called Blakestone that also doesn't have any runs. Doesn't even have a board. But I quarter 7 kind of beat that out for me. The other, if I had to pick 2 other ones, I'm kind of interested in Quattro Adventure, suggested by Lolo. Again, another Codemasters game, so all of our twins are involved with that. But it has a game on it that, I mean, I like that whole cart, but it does have Super Robin Hood on it, which I used to play a lot with my dad, and it would just be, it's a great game. The speed run is not like anything super to write home about, but anyway, I think and it kind of like adds some variety too, I guess, if you want to do like 4 games in one. And there's honestly like a number of them. Spriven suggested Castlevania 2 Belmont's Revenge today, and that's a really cool game too. So yeah, I'd say like those are 3 definitely standouts for me, but there's a lot of cool ones. Ignition Factor is another really cool one from Childergood. I don't know, there's a lot of cool options on there. So what do you, ZC?
Yeah, personally, Wild Guns is up on my or high on my list of the ones. I really love that game, and I still haven't beaten it. And I would really like to learn some strats to finally beat that game. And like just the idea of having like what is essentially a rail shooter, to see how that would work for a speedrun is very cool. Other ones on here, Bubble Bobble Part 2 seems pretty interesting to me. I really like Bubble Bobble. And also Tombs and Treasure sounds good. Those are both suggested by Johnny Go. So I don't know, I guess I like the cut of Johnny Go's jib, I guess. I don't know.
I didn't even know about Tombs and Treasure, honestly, until he posted it.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
It's like a really strange like RPG like type of game that not many people really know about on the NES. But yeah, it's really early NES game. So for an RPG. But yeah, that's kind of the ones that I'm hoping. But yeah, any other thoughts on that before we spin this godforsaken wheel?
I think we should get it over with.
Okay.
I think we should go for it here.
All right.
Bokodan wants Shuffle Puck or Dynatron. He says selfishly because they are involved with those games already.
The ones that
and then there's some stuff
suggested.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway,
Junkyard,
get the wheel started.
Junkyard Dave is just saying games that he submitted.
Of course. All right, let's get the wheel going here. We already have the names up. If we do have to, so the way the wheel is going to work, let me pop it up here. The way that this wheel is going to work is we're going to spin it for the name first, and then whatever name lands on, we'll look and see what the list of games is that person suggests, and then we'll spin a separate wheel for the games.
Notably, Zarek is not on there because he put us through Pogie.
Right, that's correct. So,
just want to mention that.
We should just mention as well that I submitted Pogie. I'm off the wheel, and I will be off the wheel until I have completed 3 additional board boosts.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready? I shuffled the names up already, so here we go.
We're
Let's
ready.
see what happens.
Wheel of Morality. Turn, turn, turn.
Tell us the lesson that we must learn.
Oh.
It's
Pokémon. It's Pokémon. Okay. Oh, holy wow. All right, so now I'm going to...
All right, so we've got 2 games to go.
I'll pop the wheel off here, and I'm going to make a new list here of the 2 games, which I believe are Dynatron City.
Right. I think Boko was like... didn't they suggest like the very first suggestions were those 2?
I think so. It was really early on, yeah.
Like literally... It was like Steve Zero requested in Sector X, which also looks cool. And yeah, and then Boko was right after that with Shuffle Puck and Dynatron City. That's pretty cool.
Let's see. Defenders of Dynatron City.
No homie, hype!
And Shuffle Puck Cafe. Okay, so here we go. We got the new wheel here. Let me pull it up on the screen. All right, we're ready to go. Let's see what we're...
Well, hold on here. Boko says $1,000. I rescind my nominations and replace them with homie right now.
Too bad.
Yeah, I'm not paying you $1,000.
Not worth. Not worth.
I'll see you again in 2 months.
You shell.
Homie de clown. All right, here we go. Everybody ready? Hang on to your butts.
Spin it hard. I mean, it's pretty...
Yeah, we're running Defenders of Dynatron City, everybody. That's it.
There we go.
That's the game.
That is our August game for board boosters.
So I heard you like Jake.
Ever heard of Defenders of Dynatron City?
I have watched Bokonon run Defenders of Dynatron City at Nest Block this year, and it is a wild ride.
Oh, baby.
I'm excited to learn this game. A lot of history in this game as well.
That's super interesting. So one of the so just because we're talking about it right now, Boko actually has the world record in this game, and so has just set up a host of like insane speedrunners to try and knock them off of that pedestal, which I think is hilarious. Coming for you.
Boko also says, I'll gladly do a learning/tutorial stream. That's pretty sweet.
Oh, that'd be
great. I think
great.
we'd all appreciate that.
That'd be really
awesome.
cool. Well, so we got our next game picked. Do we have any closing thoughts before we wrap this thing up here?
I can't really think of anything.
Invite your friends.
Yes.
That's my closing thought.
So
we need more. We always need more runners. We want more people to do this. It's going to be more fun, more memey, and more weird the more people we get in here. So invite your friends.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to participate, you can jump into the Discord. That's where all the action is going on. If you're not already in there, if you've floated in here from somewhere else and you're interested in what the heck is going on here, there's a link to go into the Discord. We'd love to have you. We'd love to have you join in and run some games. Let's see if we can beat the number of people who added to Pogie. We added 20, 25, 26, 27 runs.
Yeah, I think it ended up being 27 in the end.
Yeah. So let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Bug Doctor, Zarek, thanks for chatting here. Lolo Guru and Dave, thank you for hopping in. And everybody else who ran the game.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everyone, and again supporting this little group. It's definitely a fun time. And yeah, big shout outs to Zero Counts who graciously hosted the stream and everything this time. Zarek and I were both completely tied up this weekend, could do nothing, and then Zero Counts kind of went above and beyond to figure it all out. So good on him for making this happen.
Yeah, feel free to drop some feedback in the Discord of what you want to see for next time and how we can improve the hosting and anything you want to see. But yeah.
No more feedback.
No more feedback.
We get enough feedback to go on for months at this point.
True.
Sick of it.
I don't want any more suggestions.
More dark timeouts. I can get behind that one.
Done.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. There it is. Very good. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Yeah, Defenders of Dynatron City is it. Thanks for running Pogie, and thank you, everybody. I think we're going to sign out here, and I'll find somebody to raid as well.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Take care, everyone. Thanks again.